and I just decided to come down here to the basement. The house is pretty quiet. Everybody's kind of sleeping at this point, and just to chill with you guys and talk about UFC. Last night we had a great card, UFC 273, and let's start talking about Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie. What a fight! What a fighter! Volkanovski is just unstoppable at this weight class. He has defeated Max Holloway 2 times. He has defeated Brian Ortega very decisively. And yesterday he just gave Korean Zombie a punishment that is probably undeserved because Korean Zombie is such a nice and charismatic fighter. I'm a particular fan of Korean Zombie, and to see him getting punched and brutalized, I was hoping that he will pull off an upset and get something out of the bag and do a magic Korean Zombie submission on Volkanovski. I was rooting for Korean Zombie, but there was no chance. Volkanovski had no mercy and just delivered some big punishment to Korean Zombie, to the point that after the fight it seemed that Korean Zombie was announcing his retirement. There was an article that mentioned that the translator left some words off Volkanovski, Korean Zombie, that the translator, I guess, didn't mention that Korean Zombie said something along the lines with, "I know that I cannot be a champion now, and I need to reevaluate my career." So will that be the last we see from Korean Zombie? Who knows? I hope he comes back. He's an awesome fighter. We hope to see him more. He's been fighting for a long time. And Volkanovski is just like, at this point, is scary. It's very hard to see who can beat him. They were talking about a third match with Holloway, which is the one who has been the closest to defeat Volkanovski. But at this point, the guy just has amazing striking. He combines great setups. He has a good cardio. He's unbelievable. And he's, as we saw with the Ortega fight, he has a great submission defenses. And the guy is just pure power. Volkanovski. It's gonna be tough to see him losing at this point. I think the people are gonna start talking about naming Volkanovski the best pound for pound currently in the UFC, and I don't know. It could be he's making a case for that. Maybe you guys have been thinking about remembering Korean Zombie, and one, let me see if I can find Korean Zombie when he did the twister, the first twister in the UFC. Maybe it'll be good if we remember this. I remember seeing this, and it was the technique or the fight that put him on the map, right? Everybody started talking about Korean Zombie when he did this twister in the UFC. What if we take a look at this? What do you guys think? Let me see if I can share the screen, and let's watch this. Let's watch this Korean Zombie twister submission in the UFC debut. You guys remember this? So that's Korean Zombie
Garcia in the dark trunks, white trunks
against Garcia.
Leonard's starting to reach him. Starting to swing wild, eats a knee and returns with
Yeah,
one.
the twister was a technique that was used in the grappling tournaments. Was made popular by Eddie Bravo, the founder of Template Jiu-Jitsu. But never was that submission applied in the UFC or in MMA until this, when Korean Zombie pulled it off.
Jung was good on the ground. The end of round number 1.
So what's happening here? So Korean Zombie is in the guard. Yeah, I actually forgot about the exact details of Korean Zombie was on top. Garcia, he rocked him first. How did he set up the twister? I kind of forgot. Here we go. He takes the back. He puts both hooks. And here it is. Here it is. He's grabbing, setting the twister already. He just needs to put that arm under. That's it. Wow. Nice. Great. Great submission. It was great to remember Korean Zombie when he did that cool twister. So yeah, that was the main event. And then what a fight. They had Gilbert Burns versus Hazmat Chimaev. I don't know how to pronounce it. This guy, Chimaev, was getting a lot of hype. They were calling him something like a phenom, like the successor of Khabib, and people were talking about how he was just gonna run through Gilbert Burns and make an easy work, but it was not easy. It was amazing fight. I think he got exposed a little bit. Hazmat Chimaev on his striking, and definitely it wasn't. He still won, which was still impressive. Still great. But it was a war. It was one of the best fights yesterday in the card yesterday, and maybe one of the best fights in this year. And let me see if I can find some highlights of the fight between Gilbert Durinho Burns versus Hamzat Chimaev. Maybe some highlights. Let's watch it. Oh, there is a this is a cool video by KJ MMA. It says every strike landed in the Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. Check this out. Man, they went to war, these two guys. Look at this. Burns landing some big shots on Chimaev. Later, Chimaev said that he made a mistake. He wanted to knock him out, and that made him vulnerable. But as you can see, it was a back and forth right there between these two great fighters. Oh, he went down. Durinho went down at that point. Look at this craziness. He's striking from the bottom armbar. And this is just round one. This is round two now. So check this back and forth. That was a nice ride by Chimaev. So definitely he did not run through Durinho as people were was talking about. Look, he went down there. Look. Durinho really put the pace on him and had him worried for sure. I think it was a split decision. I don't remember. But he won the fight at the end. Durinho striking from the bottom. This is round three. Look at his face, all cut. Durinho, man, the guy, you have to give it to him. He's relentless. Chimaev. There you go, undefeated. He had a very quick. I think he's only had few fights in the UFC, and he's already fighting. I think Gilbert is number 2 in his division, and he just beat him. So it's still impressive. I guess people start hyping too early when they see a fighter that is doing great, but you know, he still has some things to work on, Khamzat Chimaev, but it was a great fight. The Chimaev Gilbert Burns. Another fight last night was the Mackenzie Dern. It was a great fight too, and for the lovers of Jiu-Jitsu, maybe we should revisit that part where Mackenzie jumped guard and start applying a Kimura from the guard but standing. So let me see if I can find that video. Mackenzie there won the fight, never got the submission. She really had the Kimura locked, and Torres, her opponent, was a tough fighter, and to survive the relentless submission attempts by Mackenzie Dern speaks tons about her preparation and her jiu-jitsu too. And it was a close decision. I see here there is highlights. Maybe we'll find, and maybe we'll see that that part where Mackenzie Dern. So that's Ticia Torres, and that's Mackenzie Dern. Right, striking was pretty even. I think that the submission attempt really gave her the edge. for Mackenzie to win the fight. And let me forward this. Check this out. Here we go. Look at that jump. She's jumped. I've never seen this before. She's setting a triangle from standing, and Tisha didn't want to slam her because she didn't want to go to the ground at all whatsoever with Mackenzie there. It was probably a good decision, because if she would have slammed her with the Kimura on top, when the Kimura locked, Mackenzie would have just absorbed the slam and just kept working on the Kimura. So let's rewind real quick. Look at this. I guess it's a legit, that's it, that's the jump using the cage. He's throwing an armbar from the standing guard, and she is locking the triangle. She had the triangle, and she's now, the only thing she had is to pull her to the ground, which she did. But look, Tisha was so strong too. Look this, he starts twisting, jumps over. She's in trouble, out. She got out, but now Mackenzie goes for the legs too. With a few seconds on the round, go for the leg, which Mackenzie has finished knee bars in the past. And this girl, Tisha Torres, was great at defending, doing a triangle lock, round ends, and never got the submission. Tough fighter, Tisha, and good win for Mackenzie. Very close for the fans of Mackenzie there. And I think she's been asking, fighting somebody in the top 5. Oh, that was a good takedown. Oh, she got kicked. She got the takedown, and then Tisha kicked her. Was a good fight. Look at that kick on the knee. Great fight. I think they nice takedown. Check this out. Let's rewind this real quick. She punched, look, a really knee tap, and boom, down goes Mackenzie. Oh, but she didn't want to follow. she didn't want to follow Mackenzie in the ground. She just, I'm not gonna go in your guard, right? Check this out. She goes boom, no, you get up. And she could have gone on top and start ground and pound. And that was it. Pretty much, that was the end of the round 3. Good attempt, good six. She goes on the single. Oh, no time left, and Mackenzie wins. Good victory for Mackenzie Dern. And we'll see more. Hopefully she advance in the rankings and get to a title. I don't think she's fought for the title yet, Mackenzie Dern, but it'll be interesting to see her, especially winning by submissions, as Jiu-Jitsu fans like to see good grapplers, good submission artists on the octagon. Another fight that was very controversial was the fight between Sterling and Peter Jan, right? And I guess there was a lot of controversy. A lot of people was, even including Dana White, didn't agree. Sterling won by decision. I guess everything came down to who won the first round. I think the judges agree on all the other rounds. This was for the title. just a little history, right? On the first fight they had, there was an illegal knee from Jan. Let's rewatch that fight. It's right here. So this is
you got your instructions earlier. Protect yourself at all times.
Sterling versus Jan 1.
Good luck.
Deep breaths, folks.
Ooh, I'm so
This happened a few, like last year, I think.
Before that, he said,
And let's go to the part.
as he shoves Aljo's head, he checks a lot of kicks.
This happened.
There's good by Aljo.
I don't know exact date.
Yeah.
See, he's fainting, moving, and he gets Piotr guessing a little bit.
So this is their first fight. This still in lockdown, I think.
Late takedown attempt for Jan.
It was pretty even. I think actually Peter Jan had the advantage
Take a look at some of the work of Piotr Jan.
until the knee came,
Lands on Aljamain.
the illegal knee came.
The jab right on the nose.
Let's see if we can.
And a jab right to the body.
Round 4.
All right.
Hey, it's not
So
great.
this is the
Not great.
No,
the part.
He just doesn't seem to have the energy to complete a double, but he's reaching in. Oh,
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
a good knee by Jan. This is Sterling versus Jan, their first fight.
And the reason Aljo can take that shot is because he's in such great shape.
yeah.
If you're not in shape, you go down.
So
you get hit with
pretty
something
soon
like
here
that.
we'll see the
Head kick for
the illegal knee that got Peter and Jan disqualified.
Oh, look at
Another one,
that.
that one wrapped around
So
you.
here we go. So he has a knee on the ground. Sterling has,
Look at him just pressing on the head here, though. That
and there goes the illegal knee.
his knee was down.
And despite the referee's warnings
Before that, he said down.
to
He said downed opponent.
not hit him, since the rules
The illegal knee.
Hey,
state that a kneeling opponent cannot be knee or kick in the face.
Yes.
but Anthony Smith
But
took
Anthony
the high
Smith.
road.
And after a few minutes of deliberation,
Yes.
they call it, and they decide to.
To this contest at 4 minutes 29 seconds of round number 4. Due to an intentional foul by Piotr Jan, the winner by disqualification and new UFC bantamweight champion of the world.
Sterling is happy but also sad.
Sterling.
He probably didn't want to win by disqualification, the title. So anyway, so they fought last night, and it was a pretty even fight, and Sterling won this time, fair and square. And I guess as I was saying, this guy, the Whistle has a good channel. I recommend you guys following him.
A lot of people do not agree with this on social media.
He pretty much break it down the first fight, the first round. Sorry, he breaks down the first round,
Round 0 light, 4 medium, and 2 heavy.
and the
Because most
conclusion
of the
that he gets
we get to
is
Aljamain Sterling's heavy attack as well. Jan lands a leg, has him right into the cage. This one we're going to count as a heavy attack. Sterling throws a long left uppercut, but it looks like it doesn't land, goes right under the chin. It
So
may
he's
have
counting-
raised. If it did land, it's
he's
definitely
counting
a light attack.
every
We'll come back
strike
to it if we have to.
in the
Thrust
first
kick by
round.
Sterling, but gets caught as well. Jan lands a leg kick. Then he hops in and lands a jab, pushing Sterling backwards, gets a big reaction out of him. Big check from Jan. Now, similar to that Sterling uppercut, Jan
We're
throws a left
watching
straight, but it's really hard to tell from
the
the camera angle if it does connect at all.
fight
If there is a connection, it would
between
definitely be a light attack, but we'll come back to it if we
Aljamain
have to.
Sterling
Jab
versus
from
Peter
Sterling,
Jan.
Then Jan lands another
They
medium
fought
attack,
last
an
night
overhand
for
left
the,
over Sterling's shoulder, which backs him up a little bit. Another
featherweight
touching
title.
front kick from Sterling, just touches right.
I'm
at
sorry,
the
this is
end. Then
the
we get to
bantamweight
Aljamain
championship.
Sterling's heavy attack in this round, lands an elbow on the top of the head of Jan.
So,
that gets a big reaction.
anyway,
over
he
cumulative.
counts
vast
all the
majority
strikes.
of Aljamain Sterling's strikes had no impact. A lot of just touching shots that got got no reaction out of Jan. Then there were some of the body kicks that were kind of decent. The elbow from Sterling was the main one. But does that trump what Jan was able to do with his body kick and his jab? It's really tough to look at because the medium shots pretty much cancel each other out. Forget there's any medium attack here. Now we're looking at the light and heavies. This is how you have to weigh this. Are those 8 light strikes from Sterling more impactful than the jab or the
Sterling
body
got
kick that
8
Jan landed?
light
That's the
strikes
question.
more.
Imagine combining all of those 8 light strikes from Sterling. Would that be more damaging than the jab or the body kick from Petr Yan? Man, it's really tough to judge. If the rules were written better, I would have scored this round a draw. After looking back at all the light strikes from Sterling and comparing that to the jab from Jan, I would have to conclude, ever so slightly because of how the rule set is written, Aljamain Sterling wins the first round. Just because the jab wasn't super damaging. If that jab had the kind of impact
Sterling
of
won
some of Hamza Shemai's strikes landing
the
on
first
Gilbert
round,
Burns,
according
then we have another argument and Petr Yan would definitely win this first round. But the fact that
whistle.
it wasn't that damaging, it just had a
YouTube
bit of a
channel
reaction like
that
push Sterling
breaks
back.
down
We're going to have to give Aljamain Sterling
fights
this
in a
first round,
very
ultimately
good
making him the rightful
technical
winner
way.
of this fight with Petr Yan. He got revenge, shut up a lot of the doubters, and man, everybody has to give this guy some respect. He came out there with a perfect game plan, went after Yan when Yan was at his weakest, and able to bag in those early rounds.
Respect, Sterling. Great work. And that was pretty much the fight. The fights last night. And what else I've been watching? This weekend was Pan Ams for the Jiu-Jitsu fans. Okay, let me see if I remember any fight of last night. We covered Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie. We cover Gilbert versus Chimaev, Mackenzie Dern, and this guy, right? I think those were the main fights last night. Let's talk about Jiu-Jitsu a little bit. I've been watching some of the Pan Ams, not everything, but this flow grappling, they have a good they follow, they are the ones who stream the event, flow grappling. And there is this kid, his name is Cole Abate. He's just a purple belt, but the guy is just unbelievable. And there was a video here. No, it wasn't this one. Although we can watch this one. Lely Bernales, 22 IBJJ Pan Featherweight Champion. Good for her. This is the one. This kid is just amazing. Look at an armbar. Amazing armbar. By the kid is his name is Cole Abate. Look, pull guard, right into guard, and boom, 17 seconds. He just got promoted to purple belt. It's a name to keep in mind. And if you guys go to the Flow Grappling Instagram, you will see a bunch of cool submissions, cool interviews. See here, the black belt men's and women's absolute divisions are live. I think even the great was competing. Forgot. Oh, Marinho competing too. Pedro Marinho was competing. Good. Pedro Marinho is a great fighter. This is Pedro Marinho. Match at the Pan Ams. Takes the back. Choke the guy out. It's funny. He beat Craig Jones recently in a no-gi match. Gordon Ryan is always controversial. He's I'll win and take all those people's money who came to watch me lose. It's always controversial. Gordon Ryan, who will fight Andre Galbao in the super fight in Abu Dhabi this September, coming up September. Everybody's waiting for that fight. This guy, Tainan Dalpra, is a...
Back then, he told me it wasn't towards me, it was in general. I have nothing against him, nothing against the man. I appreciate the challenge that he brings it in. It was a good back and forth that we had before, but I think like I got to the point where I'm very comfortable in the position.
He has a great pass.
So like I look forward to more challenges like that.
Pass, takes
so I told him that I did
back.
not appreciate what he said.
Let me see, there's Felipe Andrew. Right here. He goes to the absolute final. Go back here. Oh, this is a footlock. Felipe Andrew. These are just small clips of Pan Am's yesterday, this weekend. It's Fiona. Oh, look at this armbar. Great armbar, look. She's got the arm really isolated to step over the right leg. And is about to step the left knee up. There you go. Throw the leg. Extend the arm. Boom. Man, that was amazing submission, you guys. Her name is It's Fiona, not Fiona. It's Fiona, not Fiona. Nice pressure. Good pressure. We are watching some of the matches from this weekend Pan Ams. Nice pressure from north-south, isolating the arm, stepping over, boom, armbar. Choke, who's this? Rod JJ getting the job done. If you guys go to Instagram and follow Flow Grappling, inverted triangle with the armbar. This is the great Leandro Lo. No, this is not Leandro Lo. But Leandro Lo did compete though. Let me see if I can find. He did a great. Here's Leandro Lo. There we go. He's known by his amazing pass. He's defending the single leg, grabbing the pants. Boom, the famous knee cut. Right into the sideman. Look. Leandro Lo. Still competing, Leandro Lo. I wonder if he made it to the final. It's always great to watch this guy. Still competing. He must be considered in this sport already a veteran. Leandro Lo, he's in the same generation as Buchecha and Vieira and all those guys. Anyway, so I thought it was cool to watch some of the Pan Ams last weekend, and let's see, to close the podcast. It's already 11. Gotta go to sleep. Let's watch. Let me go to the Flow Grappling and look at the results. Who won Pan Ams? News, results. Nope. Watch news. Oh, here it is. Let me share it with you guys. So Pan Am's results. Quarterfinals. Let's go to the finals. This is I guess this is black belt. It's just black belt division. Semifinals. Roosterweight. Suarez defeat Martinez. Oliveira defeat Cespedes. Light featherweight. Pinheiro defeat Thiago George. Miriam Alves defeat Hashimoto. Middleweight, Tainan Dalpra defeat Ronaldo Jr. Jefferson Guaresi defeat Matias Luna. Leandro Lo opens for Sebastian Rodriguez. Rodriguez advances. Opens for Sebastian Rodriguez. Interesting. Heavyweight, Mateus Diniz defeat Pedro Machado. And what's happening? Demetrius Souza defeated Pedro Marinho. Oh, wow. Got defeated, Pedro Marinho. Felipe Andrew opens for Marcus Scooby. Scooby advances. Eric Muniz defeat Vinicius Trader. Cyborg, still fighting. Cyborg, it's an all-timer. Defeated David Cabral. Ultra heavyweight, Gutenberg Pereira defeat Roosevelt Souza. Finals. Female super heavyweight, Gabi Pesaña defeat Yara Suarez. Cruiserweight, Maisa Bastos defeat Lavinia Barbosa. Light featherweight, Jessica Khan defeated Tamir Sakino. Featherweight, Ana Rodriguez defeated Amanda Montero. Lightweight, Natalie Ribeiro defeated Fionn Davis. Middleweight, Tamara Ferreira defeated Chloe McNally. Medium heavyweight, Maria Mailesak defeated Isadora Cristina Silva. Melissa Cuero defeated Maggie Grindari. Absolute, Gabi Pesaña defeated Yara Suarez via advantages. Male divisions. Roosterweight, Bebeto Oliveira defeated Talison Suarez. Light featherweight, Miriam Alves defeat Lucas Pinheiro. Featherweight, Diego Sodre and Alexandro Sodre will close out. Lightweight, Jonathan Alves defeated Andy Murasaki. Middleweight, Tainan Dalpra defeated Jefferson Guaresi via points. Medium heavyweight, Sebastian Rodriguez and Manuel Ribamar close out. Heavyweight, Mateus Diniz and Demetrius Souza will close out. Super heavyweight, Eric Muniz and Marcus Scooby will close out. Ultra heavyweight, Roberto Cyborg defeated Gutenberg Pereira via score 2-0. Absolute, Enrique Muniz defeat Felipe Andrew via points 2-0. those are the results of the Pan Am's Jiu-Jitsu that just happened this last weekend. Speaking of Tainan Dalpra, I was mentioning to you guys about the pass that he always does, and there's a video of Laken Gills doing a breakdown of the pass, right? And I'm gonna finish showing you this video. You guys should check it out. It's on the Flow Grappling YouTube channel. Check
I'm going
this
to
out.
call the shoulder lift. So I'm just going to explain some of the details about this shoulder lift, and
Lachlan
then we'll
Gillis
break it
is
down through the actual footage.
Amazing
So the shoulder
competitor,
lift that we're
athlete.
talking about is
Surprised
basically
everybody in last Abu
when
Dhabi.
I get outside the legs, and I'm going to basically.
So go and
lift
watch this
shoulder
video.
to
It
essentially
explains
my opponent's back.
the
Secure
Tainan Dalpra's guard passing.
It's obviously the
what
problem you have when you get outside the legs.
what
especially
Lakeland
flexible
Gills
guard
is saying
legs,
is that
they're framing and they're trying to get their legs back in. Okay, and
that when he
basically
passed,
when
he pretty much
Jacob can keep his shoulders down on the mat. He tends
takes
to be able to
control of
lift his
that
hips and bring his
arm
legs
and
in.
turn him
And
to expose the
the interesting
back.
thing about this pass is it tends to work. You don't have to be like all the way inside control. You only just have to be kind of just.
Let me forward it.
Basically, all you need to do is get your
He's
hips
passing.
behind. I need to get to the point where my hips get underneath my elbow. So I'm dropping my hips here, and you'll see if my elbow comes towards my hips, and I bring forward.
And then
that's
he
gonna
just
lift
exposed the
Jacob up.
back. It's a particular
Typically, gets this. As he starts to come around, he's pinning the hips.
kind of
So he can
new
lift. And once that shoulder's up off the ground, when my hips come under, I can continue to turn. All right, so in this first
way of
one,
passing.
Tynan is against Tommy Langaka in the final
Here
of the
is
World Championships.
Lakeland
And he's actually got a
Gillis
cross grip on Tommy's
breaking down the
leg.
pass.
So his left hand here is threaded through onto Tommy's left leg here. And he's eventually going to pass that foot underneath. So here we are. Okay, so he ends up with like both, see this cross grip still, he's holding the pants, and both feet end up on the outside of the body, right? From here, as he kind of stretches his arm out just to clear the legs as much as possible, he's able to get around the corner, and you can see as he's done that, he's just secured this tricep grip, right? Once he's got the tricep grip, he's going to want to step higher up, so he has a good angle to put some pressure off that leg, driving through the tricep and lifting Tommy's shoulder. So steps, okay, gets around that corner, okay, and now his hips come in, dropping, see the hips coming towards the elbow, so when those hips drop in, it forces Tommy to turn, okay? So once more, if you watch those hips come in, kind of dropping behind, forces that turn, and there's no way with the shoulder being lifted up like that, you can see Tommy's trying to get his legs back, but it's just not a good angle to do that, and he's forced to turtle where there's a back take attempt. All right, so here we're looking at Tynan against...
Cool. You guys go and watch the video. It's very informative. Maybe you can apply that strategy in your guard passing. Anyway, that's it for me. You guys have a great night, and then keep training. If you train Jiu-Jitsu, keep at it. It's a great sport. Try not to get hurt. I have a video about tips of how to enjoy Jiu-Jitsu and avoid injuries. If you don't train Jiu-Jitsu, all I can say is that you're missing out of a great activity that will make you discover your inner power. Sometimes we are not aware of where we're capable until we're being challenged, and Jiu-Jitsu is the perfect sport to discover what you really are capable of, and it's an amazing art that will 100% have a positive impact in your life. See you guys soon, and Stay safe.